Well, I'd like to welcome Year 6 and one of their eCadet teachers from Cornist Park Primary School. Good morning to all of you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you have come from and joining us from around the world. Really good to have your company here. Can I just start by asking, during school times, this is my interesting question, in your class, how often do you use devices? Now, I know you've brought some and you've left it on the table, and that's great, but I want to know more about that. Matthew, can I start with you? What devices and what tech do you use in school?
Well, over the past 2 weeks, we've been studying a country each class. We did Canada, and we've been doing presentations on Google Docs and things like that. We've been using Google Classroom as well.
Excellent. I'll ask you more about that in a second. Porg, you were going to say?
Yeah, so in my class we use a lot of the Chromebooks when we're doing it, because normally it's like we use Chromebooks at least once every week. And we don't normally use the iPad, so unless somebody else is using the Chromebooks.
Excellent. Apple will be delighted to hear about that, I'm quite sure. Oliver, what about you?
We use the iPads and Chromebooks quite a lot, and we also have an interactive whiteboard that we do our maths on. The teacher demonstrates on the touchscreen whiteboard. Okay,
that's really good to know as well. Ellen, what kind of technology, what do you use in the classroom?
Well, we usually just use our iPads and Chromebooks to do our work, like slides and sheets and stuff, to show our work in a different way rather than writing it down in our books. But we also use it just to kind of do it in a creative way so that we can show what we can do on the iPads as well as in our books.
Brilliant. Lily, what about you?
We use the Chromebooks and iPads a lot. If the Chromebooks aren't free, we'll go on the iPads, and if the iPads aren't free, we'll go on the Chromebooks. We use it for work, but then we'll use it for practicing our times tables or stuff like that.
Excellent. Who has a favourite app? So I'm interested to hear now what your favourite apps are. Ellen, perhaps we'll start with you.
Mine's Google Slides, because I get to animate the pictures and put different things on to make it more creative and more my style rather than just normal writing on lines and lines of words.
Okay, well that kind of begs the question. So you're doing presentations. What was your last presentation on, and can you remember?
I think it was about, because we did a budget to a holiday in Greece, so we had to show where we were going and what we were doing, so I made a presentation about that.
Brilliant. Lily, what about you? Your favourite app?
I like Google Slides, but I like Google Docs as well. It depends if we're working in partners. If we're working by ourselves, then I'll go on Google Docs. I can add pictures, text, change colours of anything, backgrounds. And I done a Russia fact file, and another time we put links in to where we got the website from. Brilliant,
I like that very much. Matthew, what about you?
I said before that we were studying Canada for the past 2 weeks. Mr. Ellen and Lily's class were doing Greece and Paul was doing Japan. If we could use the iPads to go on Google Earth to have a look at what the landscapes were like and the scenes, to have a look what they're like.
Okay, and having used Google Earth, do you think you're more likely to visit those countries? Do you think you know a bit more about those countries?
Yep, so because we have a better understanding of what it's like there.
What was your favourite country?
Greece.
Why?
I'm just into I like Greek mythology, and I also like the landscapes of Greece as well.
Excellent, really good. Porg, what about you? Your favourite app?
Google Classroom, because our teacher would put it on the day before, so I can have a look at what I'm going to be doing, and then I have a better understanding of it, and then I know what to do in the morning.
Okay, can you just tell me a little bit about what to do in the morning means? What kind of things do you do?
I would get the Chromebooks out, and then we would go on to Google Classroom, and then she'll explain it, and then we did one about highlighting a speech, different parts of the speech, and so we just open it, go onto the Google Docs and then do it, and then we can turn it in, and then she can see who's turned it in and who hasn't, and it gives her a number of who hasn't.
Brilliant. I'm just loving your language, turn it in. I like that very much, which is really good. For me, it used to be handed in, but apparently not, according to Google. I like that very. Oliver, what about you?
I like Google Classroom as well because the teacher can give harder work for the people that are good on the ICT, and the teacher can give easier work for the people that aren't so good, so to help them learn.
Now, the internet can be a great resource. You've all talked about online resources and how important they are. Google Earth for you, Classroom, lots of apps and everything. But the internet can be a pretty unpleasant, dangerous place. And I'm interested now to learn from you what you understand to be dangerous and how you keep yourself safe. So, Ellen, perhaps I can start with you. What do you understand about the internet and the dangers, and how do you keep yourself safe?
It's easier to keep yourself safe if you know what information you need to keep to yourself and what information you can give out. For instance, I wouldn't give out where I live, what school I go to, what my phone number is, unless it's like if I'm talking to a really close friend in person, that information's okay to give out then, but it's not okay to give it online because anybody can see it then.
Absolutely, that's a really good answer.
For the profile pictures, you don't want to like take it like in front of your house where you can see the sign, or in your school uniform, because then they'll know around where you live and they can follow you.
Okay, so what do you have as your profile picture on anything at the moment?
I don't really use social medias.
Interesting. What about you?
I have this on my laptop. I have this antivirus program that if something's wrong, a pop-up would come up saying your computer is not secure. I'd click on that. There's a button where I could press clean now, and it'd clean the whole thing. Also, my profile picture, I have WhatsApp. My profile picture is just a selfie with me and my cousin at a party. I'm not in front of my house or in my school uniform or anything.
Okay, was the party good?
Yeah, it was my mum's wedding party.
Excellent, I'm delighted to hear that. Lily, what about you? So,
When I'm on holiday, I'll post pictures when I get home, because then people can go to your house because they'll know most likely no one's going to be there, or people can't know, they're not going to come to where you are, but they're going to know where you are and that no one's at your house.
brilliant advice, really, really good advice. I like that very much as well. What do you understand, Oliver, about keeping yourself safe and others online?
Never give out any of your personal information. Have a safe profile picture. You could take a picture of a pet or picture of your favourite football team or something like that, and just don't give out any personal information.
Great advice. I like that. I hadn't thought about that. Your favourite team, that was really good. And, you know, a family event I thought was really nice, really good as well there. Now, you're all been using eCadets in school. I'd like to understand a bit more about how you've been using it and what it's meant to you particularly. Perhaps I could start with you, Ellen, as well. So how have you used it to keep yourself safe in school, and what has that meant for you? eCadet, so how have you used that in school?
Yeah, we usually teach lessons, so usually assemblies or lessons in classes where we'll basically have a topic like a safe profile picture or what information not to give out, and then we'll teach a lesson. Then at the end we'll ask them if they know what information is good to give out or what's a safe profile picture, so they basically know how to keep safe online as well.
Okay, that's really good. Porrick, what about you? How are you using eCadets?
Well, for the assemblies and stuff, and the lessons, we normally do it for year 3s and above, and we do different lessons for the year 3s to the year 5s and 6s. Also, if there's someone with a problem, they can come to us, and sometimes we do bubble time, where they can just come into the library and tell us about something at dinner time and stuff like that.
And what do they tell you?
Like if there's been an incident, they'll tell us about that, and then we'll fill a form in on the iPad and then send it to Miss Williams.
Oliver, what was the last incident you had to deal with?
There was someone in my class, and they were having inappropriate pictures sent to them from a person in a different country, and we sorted that out.
Excellent. Can you remember what advice there was for that? How did you close that down?
We said block the person that sent it, and if it happens again, come and tell us, and we'll sort it out and maybe report it or something.
Brilliant. That's really good advice. I like that as well. Lily, what about you? When did you last have to help someone?
On Musical.ly, someone had posted a video and then people had been commenting nasty messages. So we reported the comment and then we blocked that person, and then I went and told them, and then they deleted that Musical.ly.
Brilliant.
So I just said, try not post, because they had a logo on their t-shirt as well. So I said don't post with a logo on, because people were asking where do you live and what gymnastic club you go to. So I said don't post it in front of your house or any information that they can get from you.
Brilliant. Matthew, why do you think people are so nasty to other people online?
Maybe they're getting bullied online as well, so they feel like doing it to someone else to show them how they feel.
I just absolutely love the way you all just kind of are above all of this and have such great advice. It's really good. I'm really enjoying the conversation as well. Can I now ask you more about the skills that you think you've learned through eCadets? All right, perhaps I'll start with you, Porag. So what skills do you think you've learned?
So we've learnt how to make safe profile pictures and how to make sure if you're getting bullied, how to block them and stuff like that.
Brilliant. Oliver?
I've learnt how to help people stay safe online and what to do if I get bullied myself, and yeah.
Brilliant. What about you?
It's given me, because we do teach in front of people, given me more confidence to speak in front of people, because then I know they're all listening because it all gives them advice. So then when they come to me, I feel better, because then I know people do trust me and I feel more confident, and then I feel like when I speak I don't get worried and shy and stuff.
No, you're definitely more confident, I have to say. It's really helped as well, just amazingly as well. Lily, what about you?
Well, it's given me more confident, and I've learned more things than what I didn't know on Google spreadsheets as well, and my friends are just asking me more now for help, and I like that, because then I like showing other people my ways I do things and then teaching them the way I do things.
Brilliant. What about parents? And I'm just wondering how much of this spills over into the home?
Well, now I've become an eCadet, they're asking me more often. And because I've got two little sisters, they're asking me more for apps they have and how do I do this, and asking me what names they should have and stuff like that for their profile or something.
Brilliant. Now, I know you've already talked about the virus protection, but I'm interested now to learn a bit more about how your expertise spills over into your home life. Who in the family now comes and asks you for advice and help, and I guess at school as well?
My brother, he's just learnt to do, a few months ago, Oliver taught my brother to use Google Slides. Now he's just using it non-stop because he likes it so much, and he keeps coming to me asking, Matthew, how do you change the colour of the writing? Matthew, how do you make a new slide? Matthew, how do you change the colour of the title? That kind of stuff.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because I'm helping other people that are younger than me to be better, like on the platform that they're using.
How would you feel if that person was older than you, and do you have to help older people than you as well?
Not really. My dad works as an electrician, so everything I know, he knows as well. So I don't really need to help him. My mum sometimes, in January she got a new phone, iPhone 7, and she's used to Samsung, so she's been asking me how to use it and stuff like that.
Brilliant. That is really good as well. What information about internet apps has most surprised you? So during your journey, particularly with eCadets and how you've kind of become digital citizens, and you are brilliant digital citizens, I have to say, what has most surprised you about either the app or the behaviour of people that use the apps as well? Perhaps I'll start with you, Ellen.
It's usually because how serious the situations they get in, because people come to me, like Oliver said, with people that send them inappropriate pictures, and it just makes me wonder how people get in these situations at like same age as us, 10, 11, 12 and stuff like that, it's kind of worrying, to be honest, because then you think, well, if that can happen to them, it can happen to me.
It's a really good point. Lily, what about you?
Well, on Snapchat, there's a way where they can, if they zoom in, they show you the exact street and the exact house you live in. So you can change it to ghost mode, so they can't see where you live, so they can't stalk you or anything.
Pretty good. So Matthew, what has most surprised you about what you've learned?
About, like Oliver said before, how some people can commit suicide from being bullied.
And they don't like talk to somebody else, they just commit suicide without telling anyone.
Okay, so what do you think the solution to that might be?
Be more open about it and
tell
talk.
everyone and tell someone if you're being bullied.
Okay, and what do you think the barriers might be for that? So how do you think we could encourage people to talk more openly about that?
It's usually because if you're too young for an app, they get scared that if I tell somebody, they're going to get angry at me because I'm using this app when I'm not supposed to, or I'm too young for this app, so my teacher will shout at me for using it. But like, if you're in this situation when you're being bullied, they're not going to get angry for that because they're going to try and sort it out first. Because lots of people who are too young for Instagrams don't come to us because they feel like, oh, I'm going to get shouted at because I use Instagram, they're not supposed to use Instagram. But like, if you have a problem, come talk to us, because it doesn't matter, because we won't shout at you. We're not the ones who tell you what you can and can't use.
No, I think as those of us who are advising schools, we've kind of, and parents and young folks, we've given up saying, look, you shouldn't be playing this. We just let everyone know that there are age restrictions for some things, and it's a parental or a guardian responsibility to ensure, we just kind of accept the fact that you're going to get into stuff you shouldn't be into. But what I'm really interested in is how you kind of cope with those situations and how you deal with that. And I'm really, really pleased to hear some of the great advice you were about to say.
We just let people do what they want to do and just help them when they need it.
So Matthew, how do you think you could be more approachable? How do you think you could help people who might be anxious, worried about something? How could you put yourself out there and be more friendly? How do you think you could do that?
By saying, if, like Lily said before, or Ellen was it, who said you think they're going to get shouted at if they realise that you're using an app that you're not supposed to. Just tell them that it doesn't matter. It's not our responsibility. It's if you have something wrong, that's what we deal with. We don't deal with if you're allowed to use that app or not.
Do you think that other young people that have got problems, either bullying problems or they've seen something online that is concerning them, do you think that they're more likely to talk to someone their age or younger or older than an adult? What do you think, Ellen?
It's because it helps that you're like the same age or just a little bit older, because sometimes it's scary, because if you're going to an adult, they have stronger opinions about things and they think you shouldn't be on that completely, but we kind of understand what they're going through exactly, instead of just like seeing it as Instagram, we see it as what's exactly on Instagram, what they're looking at and how to solve it completely. But plus it's easier to go to someone you know at the same age, or someone who's in the same school as you, or someone who's best friend, say, because I've had my best friend come to me about something.
And we've also got year 3 and 4 eCadets. So if anyone younger in year 3 and 4, they can tell the year 3 and 4 eCadets and they can come and tell us. So that might make them feel better because they're younger and they're the same age.
They might be too scared to approach year 6s and tell them about it.
So we have year 3 and 4 eCadets the same age as the younger people, so it's easier for them to approach them.
I think Matthew makes a really good point about other young people thinking that if they go to an adult, they're going to get shouted at. Well, that's certainly not going to happen if they come to an eCadet person or someone who's younger or older or the same age as them. They're just not going to do that. So I think having more young people like you, more approachable, is a really good thing. I think that's just absolutely brilliant. We've talked about the parents as well. Can I just ask about other teachers at school? Do you ever find yourselves having to help another teacher at school?
Yes.
Tell me more.
It's my teacher, because he's basically just learned how to use his computer properly. So then he's going, how'd you do this? And then I was like, it's that button there, it's that button there. And then when he tries to set stuff up, it's usually not working. He's like, I can do it. And then we're sitting there for half an hour just waiting for it to turn on.
I know, many a time have we all spent that. Go on, you go first.
I have to always sort the whiteboard out when it doesn't work, and our teacher's just learning to use Google Classroom and stuff.
Well, it is still fairly new, I have to say, so, you know, it's okay. Go on, what are you going to say?
My brother's teacher sometimes has to get one. There's a year 3 eCadet in my brother's class, and my brother's teacher sends him up sometimes to ask for me and Oliver's help because like the whiteboard's not working or the sound's not working or something like that.
And sometimes I get asked to like set up the computer for what they want to do in the hall because she doesn't know how to do it. And I normally do that for her.
And when we have assemblies, I go down and set up the PowerPoint on the board, and I sit there for the assembly and change slides for the teachers.
Brilliant. What about you, Lily?
Well, because Mr. Grokart, our teacher, has only just learnt to use Google Classroom and that, so he's getting other teachers to show him, but then he forgets, so he's asking us to show him. But because it's fairly new to us, so we've got to show him, and then he's learning from us, which is good to me, because I like showing people how to do things, and then he makes us show everyone around the class it, and that makes me happy, showing other people.
And what he'll do as well, he'll use something that can't be shared by the rest of us. He'll use a different program, so because we share it on Google Docs, but he'll use something else. So then I have to change it all to Google Docs so I can share it with the rest of the class.
I'm delighted to hear this because this is part of the digital strategy. This is digital citizenship at its very best. So I'm so pleased to hear that you are rolling your sleeves up and getting stuck in. And this is a great opportunity to bring your eCadet teacher along, Kellie Williams, who's joining us now. Thank you so much indeed. What an amazing group of young people. They are so confident and they kind of are in such a good place now to be able to offer this as well. I have a more formal question at the moment, but can I just, because you have been advising government on digital citizenship and strategies and things like that, how pleased, how successful do you think this is really working here?
I'm really pleased for them, really proud of them for the work they do. They're a part of the school community, they're a trusted part of the school community as well, so children and teachers know they can go to them. They support the parents as well and the governors. They run digi-desks at parents' evenings so parents can go and ask them for advice, and that works really well. So yeah, as a whole, we're really proud to be an eCadet school, and it's completely changed the ethos of the school and the way that we approach digital citizenship. It's something that's woven throughout the curriculum, rather than just a standalone lesson once every term, tick a box. This really is embedded throughout the school.
Brilliant. I think the proof is, I've always said, ask the young people.
Definitely.
You know, if you want to know anything about a school, just ask the young people and
Definitely.
they will.
Pupil voice is the most powerful thing in a school.
But there are so many different flavours of that, and often heads think, oh, we've got a school council, we've ticked that box. Or we've got a whiteboard, we've ticked the digital citizenship box, and absolutely not. They're just scratching the surface, and you've done really well here. How has the eCadets and the digital safety and everything that you've done here, how has that impacted on the school life particularly?
Well, we made a large investment about 4.5 years ago into digital technology. So at that point it became really clear that the digital citizenship side of things was lacking really in our school curriculum. So that was when we became an eCadet school at that point. So the impact has been absolutely massive. It's quite hard to put into words actually the impact it's had on the whole school community. It wasn't just something that's impacted the pupils, it's also impacted the teachers, the parents, the governors, and they've even been out into the wider community. They've done workshops at local banks and local library, and we're just in talks at the moment about them going out to help old age pensioners and teaching them valuable digital skills.
Tell me more about the apps that you use in school to kind of, for safeguarding. What kind of tools do you use for yourself?
Tools for safeguarding, making sure that we have effective, acceptable use policies in place. A trusted web filter is probably essential, along with an effective reporting system as well, which the children have spoke about their reporting system, but then actually being able to have software that can feed that back into the senior leadership team. Also additional tools like keyword monitoring is that can be part of that can definitely form part of a toolkit that can give you a bit more of an informed view on what children are copying, typing, searching for online.
Brilliant. How well do you feel supported as a practitioner by your senior leadership team?
Extremely well supported, yeah. When we invested in digital technology and digital citizenship, it's been something that's been a whole school approach, and the senior leadership team have been very supportive of that.
Brilliant. That is just stunning. I have just one last question, if I may. What are you looking forward to most going up to your big school, your junior school, your secondary school? What are you looking forward to most, Matthew?
I'm looking forward to making new friends and that's about it really.
Good, it's great, excellent. Warwick, what about you?
Same as Matthew, making new friends and
Good.
meeting new people.
What about digital technology and taking your expertise that you've learnt with you forward? Lily, what about you?
Meeting new friends and people that I haven't seen before and showing them what I've learned to hope they learn and then tell other people, so then everyone's going to know a lot about online safety and going on the computers and just playing stuff on the computers I haven't been on before.
Brilliant. Ellen, what are you looking forward to most?
I'd probably be learning more stuff about digital stuff, because you can't know everything about it, so there's always something new you've got to learn. So when I go up, we'll be doing more stuff, doing work and more lessons on ICT, so we can learn more stuff.
Brilliant. Warwick, what about you? Oh, we've already spoken. I'm sorry?
I'm looking forward to meeting new people and maybe helping older people than me online, older pupils, and the ICT lessons in high school.
Brilliant. Well, I can predict you'll all have very successful lives and careers at secondary school. You are well equipped to survive the toils and the troubles that will be thrown at you. I'd like to thank all of the Year 6 young people from Cornist Park Primary School and Miss Kellie Williams for bringing them along today. Thank you so much, all of you.